Okay, so let's work our way through the siding here and the station at Oscar. So again, the siding would be right beside us here. You can see the marker. So kilometer post 8, so that means we have 3 to go. Look, there's a partridge right there. Their camouflage is just so amazing. Like, they just vanish. Another telegraph pole without the cross arms. Okay, and let's get ourselves over to where the station grounds are located. There are some things to see there. Yet another telegraph pole with no arms. So I'll tell you a little bit more about Oscar when we get to the spot where the station would have been. Here we're getting into these little swamps, uplands. Even in here it kind of looks a little bit kind of swampy. See lots of moss and stuff on the ground. All right, so here we're into the area where the station grounds start. You can see yet another telegraph pole. So I'm going to jump off the bike here momentarily because start pointing some stuff out. Oh, it's nice to get off the bike. My butt hurts. Just hang on, Loon. So our first sort of thing is right here. When I was here last week and I was kind of poking around, it looks like there was something here that kind of looks like there's a depression in the ground here. There kind of looks like there's some berms and things like that. So I don't know if this is where the station was located. As you're going to hear momentarily, the original station here burned down and subsequently had to be replaced. There is also, did I miss it? I'm not quite sure what this is, but there's actually, I gotta find a spot to lean my bike up against. You stay. Stay. So right here, stay. It looks like there was, I saw this last year when we drove through. You can see here, it looks like there was maybe a cold cellar or something underneath here. So you can see there's opening and it looks like there's timbers in there, and it looked like it was kind of this this little thing dug into this this little mound or this little hill. Yes, Luna. Okay, so let's make our way over here. So you'll notice there's some buildings here. I do have to say thank you to Doug and Mike. They had a place here many years ago on the other side of the grade, just up ahead here. And they were able to give me some good information about the area. So I don't know if any of these structures are original or if they were added afterwards or what the deal was. But basically this is Oscar. So I believe where you can see that shack in the background there, it's a bit of a hill. I don't want to go on there, somebody's property obviously. I'm pretty sure that's where the well was. All of the stations had a well. And you'll notice here the property owner here has added a sign to indicate where you are. And so you can see the sign that says Oscar. So let's talk a little bit about Oscar. So Again, Grand Trunk Pacific used an alphabetical naming pattern. So Oscar was the O station with Knowlton, okay, and Knowlton was spelled Knowlton, Knowlton. Knowlton was named after George Knowlton, who was the chief engineer on the railway line. Basically, that represented the N station, so the second letter, the KN, represented the N. Oscar being the O, and then Petrie, the next station up. Okay, so we are located. The mileage changed again. Original mileage was 107.3. Graham mileage was 78.3. So this spot was roughly the halfway point. So in the early years, Oscar was kind of like the major halfway station between Fort William, which is now Thunder Bay, and Graham, which is now Sioux Lookout. And it was a very important part on the line. So in the 1908 timetable, which you will see a coal tower or a coal bunker. I think it's a bunker, a water tank, a turning Y. There was probably a section house and a Grand Trunk Type E station, which, like I said, I think is back there. The station was constructed either in 1910 or 1911. One source says 1910. The source that I have says 1911, which is the original document from Grand Trunk Pacific. Okay. Now, I do have a picture on my website, on my page for Oscar, and there's a link in the description. Go and check that out. And you're going to basically see there's a picture with a bunch of people dancing on the station platform. So obviously there was a lot of stuff going on in this area. Population-wise, in 1911 there were 13 people here. 1921 there were 21, and in 1931 there were 11 people. Now there could have been fluctuations in between. Okay, now things started to change beginning in 1915, okay? So somewhere between 1915 and 1918, the coal facilities were moved, okay? It was shifted, this one here was shifted west to Quorn, which is a couple stations down. In 1923, the water tank here was removed and moved to Graham, okay, which originally was Knowlton. Now, the original station that was here, the Grand Trunk Type E station, was destroyed by fire in January of 1949. But according to CN records, it was replaced by some other structure. That structure, a different structure, I don't know what replaced it. But it was replaced by another structure shortly thereafter. The station was retired in 1960. The siding was taken out of service in 1966. And in 1973, Oscar was removed as a station. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some maps and things like that, and some documents, and then I'm going to show you some timetable. And then we're going to take a look at the next sort of points of interest. All right, so we'll leave this collection of buildings behind and we'll work our way just over here. It's warm. 1 o'clock. 25 kilometers we've done. All right, so we do have some stuff right here. So we're going to take a look at the stuff in this area and then we'll come back momentarily. All right, so let's take a look at the area just to the west of where the buildings are over there. I think over here is likely the location of where the coal tower was, or the coal bunker. What I'm seeing here is I'm seeing some stuff. What did I do with it? I had a piece. There's a piece of coal right here. I don't know if there's other pieces around here. That's a piece of coal. Everything's wet. Coal is usually really, really light. That's a piece of coal there too. So there's coal here. Oh, there's a couple. There's 3. There's some iron pellets. So there was several iron mines to the west that were feeding iron into this line. You have the Griffiths mine, which was by Red Lake, and that was open from 1968 until the mid-80s. And then you had the Matabi mine, which was by Unaka, between Unaka and Villora, and that did not have pelletized iron. The pelletized iron was from the Griffiths mine. The Matabi mine had more of a granular granular ore. So there definitely is something here. There's a bumped out area, and we were here last week having a look for the water tank, which we're going to show you momentarily, but I did notice this. So there is something here. You can actually see my shovel holes here because I was digging. You can see that there's a timber that runs along here. There's all timbers throughout here, right? There's timbers in through here. You can see that I've pulled up some wood. You can see, look at all the timbers in here. Look at all the timbers in here. And then you have a timber here. And then you have a timber back here. So if I had to guess, and there's some more coal, if I had to guess, this is the coal bunker here. Again, we don't know what was here, if it was a bunker or if it was a tower, but I'm guessing this was the coal facilities here. Look, there's some more coal here. Anything else over here? You can actually see it. Look, you can see it's all black. And that probably tells us that there was definitely, this was definitely the coal facility here. Yeah, look, there's more coal here. So I'm guessing this was the, coal bunker here. So let's scooch our way over here and let's go have a look at the water tank. So again, was looking and looking and looking for the water tank, could not find it. And then there's the bottom of the telegraph pole. Came upon it last weekend. Let's be careful here. I've only got hiking boots on and it is sort of swampy through here. It looks like there's something in through here too. There's sort of an elevated area in here, but there's this big tree that's on top of it. So, et voila, we have the water tank. So you can see the octagonal shape. This side is missing right here, but you can see it on at least sort of 2/3 or 3/4 of it. We work our way over here. The dog's drinking some nice swamp water. Yummy, yummy, Looney. So you can definitely see it much better here. You can see the pipe. This looks exactly identical to the one at Larson. Exactly. I'll post a link and you can go take a look at the one at Larson. You can see the pipe coming in. The one at Larson has some timbers that are coming across. You can see that there's looks like a metal rod there. That could be maybe grounding. I don't know if it's just all wood and then there's a concrete pad underneath, because some of them did have a concrete pad. So again, wow, the smell is terrible. Nice swampy smell here. So I don't know if that was the situation here, but again, exactly the same as the one at Larson, exactly that same octagonal shape. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're standing right in the middle of the turning Y. The turning Y is right around us. You can see the telegraph pole. One leg goes that way and the other leg comes this way, up that way to the north. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some drone shots. You're going to see the Y, you're going to see this water tank, and then we're going to follow sort of the Y through, and I'll give you a close-up of the water tank as well. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed looking at all of that. What we're going to do is we're going to pause for a moment here. We're going to do a battery swap, and then we're going to continue on to the west.